A little bit on this. There you go. There you go.
You smart.
Okay.
You'll say, Eve, quit beating up on Juan. I call it tough love.
Hey, don't forget what Millie said, okay?
Who?
Millie.
She gets to know me first. She may love me even more than she loves you after getting to know me.
You're right.
Yes, right. Good morning. Right. Buenos dias. All right. You guys ready? Ready when you are, Miss Laurel. If you count from 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? ¿Cómo estás, Juanito? Buenos días. ¿Qué hay de nuevo?
Everything.
What's everything?
Life. Sunshine, which we haven't had too much of lately.
We've had sunshine every day. I don't know where you've been.
Okay. Well,
is the light in us? Is the sunshine in us?
Well, it's sunnier than we've had lately. Okay, put it that way.
Well, it is certainly a beautiful day. Feliz sábado a todos ustedes. And we have some special guests here today. So tune in and stay here live on YouTube, live on stream 1370wlth.com. Doctor is at the door. We got 2 guests coming today. We have one here now, and our next guest is already here, but we're going to inform you, we're going to educate you and empower you. So we thank you for joining us this morning. Buenos días. Gracias por estar aquí sintonizándose con nosotros aquí en WLTH AM 1370, radicando cada viernes a las 5 de la tarde y los sábados a las 10 de la mañana. The views expressed by the host and the callers of this show, not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio, management, owners, and sponsors, and advertisers. And we have a guest board op today. That's Sister Laurel. I haven't seen her in a while. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be making you laugh and smile. How's that? Everybody. Hey, Laurel is in the house. Juanito, ¿qué tienes tú allí? What do you have over there? I know you always got some people shuffling and information to give.
Tuesday, we do have an election in the state of Indiana from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Do not forget about the election. Actually, you can still vote early, but make sure you take your ID. You need an ID to vote. So you know what? In Gary, there is a mayoral candidates forum taking place today, beginning at 3 p.m. at the, let me see here, the Trinity United Church of Christ, and that's at 1246 West 20th Avenue. So that's today at 3 o'clock. Do come out for the citizens of Gary to see who you are going to be voting for mayor. In addition to that, you have the Fiesta de Cinco de Mayo y Dia de las Madres coming up on, and that's at St. Pat's in East Chicago on Friday, the 10th of May, 5 to 8 p.m. Tickets are $12 for a taco dinner. A bebida is included, which is a drink. Music, ballet folklorico, 50-50 raffle, and loteria. For more information, call 219-398-1036 or 219-200-9769. And on behalf of St. Catherine Hospital, a advertising friend of Nuestra Comunidad Northwest Indiana, and will continue to advertise on Nuestra Comunidad Northwest Indiana. This is something I'm looking forward to go to, and hope that you out there that are listening can also go to this event coming up, which is free on behalf of St. Catherine Hospital. It is mental health awareness, healthy mind, healthy body. And it is a healthy mind, healthy body symposium coming up on Wednesday, May the 22nd from 5 to 8 p.m. And it's going to be taking place at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts at 1040 Ridge Road in Munster, Indiana. So it is free. Registration is required. Call 219-836-3477 or 866-836-3477. It's going to include topics such as mind-body connection, mindful meditation, mental health treatments and overview, fighting the stigma of mental illness, transforming pain to power, and then the Q&A panel will be taking place on the Elevate the Conversation within the topic area itself. There's a panel listed on here. Once again, Wednesday, May the 22nd, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts in Munster, Indiana. And we thank St. Catherine Hospital for advertising on Nuestra and for their continued support and advertising of Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana.
Yes.
And of course, we also always want to thank too Miss Araceli Corona, who will have some commercials coming up later
and on
on.
that note, if I
Yes,
may, I'd
yes.
like to just read it right now because
Okay,
we
go
have
ahead, go
two
ahead.
guests and we're limited to time.
Okay, okay.
So I want to make sure that we
Mhm.
bring out the best out of our show and giving information to people. And of course, again, if you would like to call in, 219-885-1371. And I know that sometimes people may think I'm being rude because I'm on my phone. This is radio, not TV. TV, I'll have a camera in the front where I'm looking at it, I'm reading it, and I will not be able to text back and respond to questions or comments because we do have live on Facebook and I am sharing our Facebook page. I multitask. So I know that one time someone said, Eve, why do you keep texting or who are you talking to? Of course, people are so insecure that they're freaking out. What is she doing? She's not paying attention. She's not looking at the camera. She's not talking to the guests. So for my beautiful guests that are here, I kind of know that they got the gist of things, that I'm only here to share
I'm going to
what we
stop you
have
real
going on.
quickly. Did you happen to hear, which I don't do every day, unfortunately, Pastor Warren today, about when you pay attention to someone who is talking to you? You could
I pay
refer something to
attention.
that, even though it is radio. Thank you.
I am paying attention to people while I'm on the radio.
No, he said
Have you
something
not
specific
noticed?
when you listen to someone that's talking to you. Well, I forgot, and that's
What?
crazy.
What are you trying to
What did he
say?
say? What did he
Because
say?
that message
Did you
was a
listen to it
godly
this
message.
morning? I
No,
know
I
you
did not listen to
okay,
it this morning
because
yet,
I
but
know
I
you
listen
most of
to
the
it
time you listen in the
every
morning.
morning.
Right.
That's
Okay.
my first bread. I'm
Yes.
telling you, that's my first meal.
So you
Is the
must have
word.
not had your coffee and bread this morning.
It's right here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I do thank God every morning, and I
Yes.
listen to other messages,
Mhm.
not necessarily just from Rick Warren, but
Mhm.
we do pay attention. One question I have to say, throwing it back at you, Juanito, do you listen?
No,
It
I
is a
don't
skill.
listen at all.
Listening is a skill, in case you didn't know.
Okay.
And how do I know when people don't listen? When you ask them to reiterate what I just said. And if they don't and can't, that means they were not listening. But on that note, are you ready for Medicare? Now's the time to learn more, Juanito. You're getting close to that age, the Medicare age. Whether you're just turning 65 or new to Medicare, now's a good time to learn about the different parts of Medicare and how to choose a plan that may meet your needs. So learn more about Medicare and as we explore resources from Medicare Made Clear and an award-winning series from United Healthcare. So join us and join others for a free, you heard that, free one. How come you don't take advantage of free meeting near you? Where is that? That is actually coming up June 5th in Portage, Indiana at 1 p.m. Holiday Inn Express, 6295 Melton Road. Attend a free meeting or call today. Araceli Corona, MA, MBA, MSRE, licensed sales representative, 219-801-1276, 219-801-1276, or you can call her directly at 773-968-6619. 773-968-6619. And we thank Araceli for being one of our advertisers here.
Okay.
And on that note, we're going to get ready to start with our first guest. And we want to thank him for coming in and out of his busy schedule, because he too is a servant of God and he's always serving. And you'll get to hear what is it that he serves. Good morning. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. How you doing, Eve?
Wonderful. Now introduce yourself and tell us who you are. Give us a little bit about you.
My name is Jay Thomas. I'm a lead volunteer at Operation Care Food Pantry, located right in Griffith, Indiana, 1300 North Broad. And I've been serving there for off and on for about 20 years, and for the last 4 years consecutively. So it's been a great thing to be part of and to see the good that we do in the community. So it's really enjoy it.
I thank you, Jay, for serving. And I know that it comes from the heart. Is this a paying job?
No, I volunteer. For about 20 hours a week. I volunteer there. I actually left I worked for the Postal Service for 22 years.
Wow.
And I decided there had to be a little bit more than just going to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I just wanted to do more for my community. And you miss the money, but you also, you get your heart filled by helping people.
Amen. All for the kingdom.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's all for the kingdom, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that servant heart that you have. And I've seen you at work. I've visited our location that we have, the food pantry in Griffith. And so we're going to talk about that food pantry. Tell us more about that, because there's a lot of people that still don't know that it's there for them.
Yeah, and first I want to thank WLTH and you all for having me on today. I was listening in yesterday, you all were talking about the census and how important that is for people to be counted. and your services that come into your area are directly dependent on them knowing that you're here. And so we really appreciate you doing that and spreading that word in the community. The food pantry's been there for 34 years. You know, it's not a
Wow.
fly-by-night organization.
Right.
We've given out over 600,000
Ooh,
people we've helped out,
yes.
and
Amen.
over nearly 12 million pounds of food we've given out in that period of time.
Wow.
And so it's just been a blessing. You see all types of people coming there. Sometimes you think it's only the destitute that need food pantries, but it's not true. A lot of times it's your neighbor. A lot of times your coworker. Sometimes the money runs out on the 23rd of the month, and you still got 30. We still got 7 or 8 more days to go, and you got to figure a way. How am I going to feed my kids? You have the construction worker who, for whatever reasons, his job didn't pan out this week. So he didn't have a way that he's going to feed his children.
Mhm.
And so that's what we're there for. So it's not just for people who are homeless, even though we do have people who are homeless that come. We have people who live in their cars that come, and they open up food right there in our parking lot and start making a sandwich right there.
Right.
So it's a lot of people. A lot of times it's your neighbor though that comes in. So we're just glad to be there and be able to help.
Glad that you are there. You are a blessing to many people. I think where you are now, originally our church was there,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Family
Right.
Christian Center
Right.
was in that little small space.
Yeah.
And we are looking for bigger space.
Yeah, you know, we do all this in a space that's about the size of a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah. It's
And
not
so,
enough
and we're
space.
packed in. We got food to the rafters. We've got almost 15 freezers there, 5 refrigerators. Just recently, the other day, and I tell you, we had an opportunity to get a pallet of lunch meat, 1,600 pounds of lunch meat, and we had just
Wow.
filled in, but we couldn't get it because we didn't have freezer space.
Right.
You know, and so we
So you
looked
have
at
to
how,
turn it away?
and it's just so heartbreaking because
Wow.
you know how many people this can help. You know, we've been getting blessed, and but you just hate to turn away that amount of food because you don't have a location large enough. That's what our fundraiser is all about. It's about raising more funds. We want to get a bigger location, a larger building. We're hoping that we'll be able to purchase it ourselves, or someone may donate one, a company for us.
Yes.
We just want to be able to feed more people in the region. You know, a lot of times you see stuff on the news and you see the floods that are happening in the area right now, and in Indiana and Michigan. You see what's going on down in Nebraska. I think NPR radio said that there was like $1.3 billion worth of damage that's being done by those floods.
Yeah.
You look
it's
at that
terrible.
situation, you go, well, how can I help? How can I help? Because sometimes you feel helpless. So what can I do? If you give to the Red Cross and feed the children, those types of things, those are great.
Mhm.
But you can't target where that money's going to go.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but when you give right here to your local charities right in this area, you know that's going right here to help right in your community. And that's why our fundraiser and banquet's going on right now, just so that people locally here know we're here for you. Please come and support us. Come buy a ticket, you know,
Yes.
and come and join us at our banquet.
Yeah. And how many years have we been having this banquet?
This is our second annual banquet that we're having. We've been wanting to do it. We just really couldn't find the time. We always had the situation.
There's always something going on.
Yeah, well, just like this Saturday, we have the food drive coming in from the United States Postal Service, and so we got to pick that up coming in. So we have that coming in. So we're always grinding all the time,
Yes, we
bringing in
are.
food, and so we have to find a location, find time to put it in. So we were asked to do it last year. It was a big success. When people came in, we have our partners like Walmart and Costco were there. We gave awards out to Strachan Van Til, who've been a partner with us for a
Yes,
long
thank
time.
you.
We've got other people donating. Cakes by Karen donated from Highland over there, donated cakes and stuff to us. Theo's donated to us. So it was a fantastic situation that we had last year. We just want to come back and repeat it again.
And of course, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And for those of you that are listening, this is Nuestra Comunidad Noroeste de Indiana, and that's our community, Northwest Indiana. If you want to call in, 219-885-1371. I know that most of you don't like to call in. You just like to listen. But I hope that you're taking note of what we're sharing with you, because if it's not you in need, it could be somebody that asked you to help them, but you know where to take them. Where are we located,
We're
Brother Jay?
the pantry, 1300 North Broad in Griffith, Indiana. It's in the rear of Reed's Temple. It's the old Family Christian Center. That's there. You come right. We're there on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 1:30, and Fridays from 9 to noon. Please come. We're there to help you. If you need the help, come. That's why we're there.
Are there any requirements in order for them to
Basically,
qualify to get some food?
Not really
or
to
clothing?
qualify. If you come and you need food, you're going to get it. We do ask that, if you come in, we just want to verify, your location, where you are, these types of things, so we can keep it for our personal records. But if you come, you're going to get food. We're not going to turn you away because you don't have an ID or you don't have proper paperwork. We're going to ask for some paperwork, but if you don't have it, you're still going to get food.
Right. The need is there, and that is a humbling experience to be able to do that for others and to see that gratification, that smile
Yeah,
of
it's
the
the thing
people that
about it.
come.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. The thing about it is that 40% of our food supply in the United States goes uneaten. It gets thrown away.
I was just about to thrown out. Yes.
And they keep the food. They don't want to over too much surplus into the system to drive food prices up and down. So they will literally toss food away.
Wow.
And so you look at that situation, and in America, there shouldn't be a situation where children are going to bed at night and not have a meal. And so if there's anything, a small thing that we can do, God works through us through our hands. And there's a small thing that we can do so a child eats tonight, or a family get an opportunity to have food for the weekend, then I think we should do it. And I think a lot of people are inherently good, I think for the most part. But I think we just need to find a way. How can we help?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know. You say, well, do I put money here? Do I put money there? Give right to your local charities. Pick one out, find one out, give some money there. Go volunteer some time. Because the thing about this really amazing, it's not about what you're doing for somebody else. It's what it does to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You get blessed.
You get blessed.
Yes.
It's through your hands that you're doing this thing. I go to bed at night, I'm tired. I've been lugging around 60-pound bags of rice and moving potatoes around and all these stuff. We had 4 kids come in from a college yesterday, came in and gave us a hand. And 19, 20-year-old guys, really nice. It was a school project, so they had to get it done. And they came in and they were lugging and moving stuff around, and they only had to stay for a couple hours on time. But a couple of those kids, one of them had to go to work, but a couple of kids said, hey, can we come back?
Wow.
Because they were putting food in the baskets and pushing out to people, and they were loading things in. So when you get that opportunity to work like that, and you get that opportunity to see right now that you're having an impact into the community, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling. And so I think life is for the living.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. God wants us to move. God wants us to live and work for other people. This is what he wants us to do.
That's right.
And so you're going to be fulfilled by doing that. So it's pretty amazing.
It is. And when I've gone to talk to some of the students in different grades, I always ask, how many of you have volunteered? Because, we're always looking for volunteers for junior team and for Operation Care or for other things. And so I ask, so how does it feel when you do that? Someone say, oh yeah, I went and fed some families for a kitchen at a church with my dad. We went to a food pantry. We did a food drive. And these are 6th graders, 8th graders I'm talking to. And my question to them is, so how does that make you feel? And they said, it makes me feel so good that I can make a difference. And it shows how blessed I am that I'm glad not to have that problem. That I know that I have food at my table and that my mom and dad or dad has clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, and to see others that have a lot less makes me feel even more grateful to have what I have, and I feel good that I had somebody smiling today.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's amazing. You see kids come in there, and it's like we took a lady came in, she had like 5 children, and their ages from 3 up to 9. I mean, they're right stair step right behind her, and they looked into their bags once we gave them to them. We gave milk and eggs and meat, but what we had in there, we had some pastries in there. We had some cookies, and the little girl goes, cookies. Oh, because she hadn't had cookies in such a long time because they couldn't afford them. You know what I'm saying? Just these little small things like that. Where you go home to your own house, you look, your refrigerator's full of food, pantry stocked. Your kids are doing well and everything like that. Man, you're lucky to be on this side because we're only a few paychecks away. Or some disaster happening, and people who woke up this morning didn't expect those floodwaters to hit.
Right.
And then they woke up and those floodwaters came in and knocked over their house. Or, they looked up and now their car's gone, all their possessions, and now they have to go somewhere to get some food. So it's amazing.
Where did it go? Is that a commercial? Is that what that says? I'm sorry, I should put my binoculars on. In 1 minute. Thank you, Laurel. I think we have them somewhere written, typed up or printed, whatever. But, and that's a great feeling to see what one small thing can do for a child.
Yeah.
Often we take those things for granted.
We really do. And that's the reason why we want you to come out and support our fundraiser and banquet. It's happening on May 17th. It's at 6:30 p.m. Doors open at 6. It's going to be at Family Christian Center at 340 West 45th Street in Munster, Indiana. Tickets are $30 for an individual and $200 for a table.
Let's get a table.
Yeah,
Let's get a table.
Yeah.
$200.
Hey, what is May
Eight people.
17th?
May 17th.
There's a lot of things going on May
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Right now, at the top of my head,
Yeah.
Juan, do you know how busy I
The
have?
next guest
I've been-
event,
Okay.
May 17th.
Can you
Yeah.
just say it,
Okay.
Juan? I mean,
Well,
you're making my brain work when it doesn't have to work right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's coming.
Yeah.
But this is early.
But you know what? I'll make a donation.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
You know what? Unfortunately, like I said, we have poverty in the richest country in the world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I print out a lot of stuff on the internet. And when it comes to the age group of the people in this country that are in most impoverished are children.
Yeah.
But my question is this: are there families that are impoverished that go to the
Food pantry.
that have tiny little babies?
Yeah.
Do you get donations for that you can feed a tiny little baby?
We do get some donations, not as much as we need.
Okay.
Especially diapers. Diapers are super expensive
Yeah.
and people can't afford them. Baby food. We need that. We get some, we don't get a lot. But we do have people coming in with brand new babies, just were born.
Okay.
Children are expensive and they don't have enough money to buy diapers,
Right,
or to get the baby food in the jars and stuff like that. So we have some, but not a lot.
Okay.
And we really do need that though. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
So if it touches your heart, think about that. Think about it while we go to commercial. We'll be right back. And for my YouTubers and my Facebookers, I hope that you are gaining some information and know where people can go. We have clothing there too, right?
Yeah, we have clothing there too. And I'm also going to give out later on if we can the where they can go online.
Yes,
To
please.
purchase that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
we have
come
clothing
back.
there. We have clothing there and things also.
Are you still taking donations for clothing and
Yeah, we're still
food?
taking donations for clothing and food. Yeah, whatever, every day. We have people drop off stuff every day, and so we take that. Yeah.
So we'll mention that when we come back.
Thank you, appreciate that.
I still might have my some clothes for my nephew who passed away last month. That I'll look for them and I can get them too.
Thank you. The thing about that is that those clothes were going to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's an amazing feeling to be able to give and know what you're giving is going to help someone. So yeah, so we definitely would love to take those.
Most definitely. You want her to play the commercial?
At this point, yeah.
Laurel, when you're done with these commercials, play that one that says Spanish Com. Thank you. And my YouTubers and my Facebookers, share this show. It's all about information to empower, to inform, to sometimes entertain. And yeah, we're here for you. It's certainly not about us.
Eve, do you feel taller today?
You're funny.
She's sitting on a pillow.
I know. I'm looking. We're dead eye even right now. And I'm probably a foot taller than I know.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out,
Well,
Brother Jay.
Since we're having to talk about.
And I'm glad that chair sits lower, because
Yeah,
otherwise I'd be like this and everybody be up here. Yeah, the doctor that's sitting there, his event is also on that day.
Oh wow, okay.
But theirs is 4 to 8, so I can go
Double dip.
at the beginning there, and then I end up with
Just double dip, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, how many times do you want me to play the commercial?
One more.
One more time.
There's one in English, no? Or does it play right
There's
after?
one in English and there's one in Spanish. So we say it twice, and I try and say it myself.
Called English commercial?
Yeah, I think so.
And I try and keep tabs.
All right. Are we done with commercials? All right. Okay. Smoking.
Ready?
Yep. All right. Welcome back.
Not yet.
Oh, what'd you say? What? We play what? The next one? Oh, you're supposed to play the English one. We'll play it.
English one right after.
We'll play it while we switch guests. All right, welcome back to Nuestra Comunidad NWI Indiana. Regresamos aquí, tenemos información siempre para ustedes, nuestra comunidad. Por eso se llama el programa así, ¿verdad, Juanito?
Sí.
Nuestra comunidad. Y estamos hablando de un banquete para recaudar fondos para el cuidado operación. Allí estamos donando comida y ropa en el lugar. ¿Cuál es el domicilio of Operation Care? What's the address of Operation Care?
Operation
Oh,
Care
right
is
here.
1300 North Broad.
1300 de la calle North Broad en Griffith, Indiana. Para más información, acudan al 219-838-2295 y estamos donando comida para el que necesita. Si ustedes conocen a una familia o a algunas personas que necesitan comida o ropa, por favor, llévenlos o denle la información. Es completamente gratis. Esto es para ayudar a la comunidad. Sabemos que mucha gente despierta con hambre y que necesita ropa. Estamos pidiendo donaciones también. Así es que tenemos el banquete el 17 de mayo. Es para recaudar fondos porque necesitamos un edificio más grande. We do need a bigger building. And for you listeners that got some dinero, got some money, come on and share it. Share the wealth. Because it's actually just to bless more people. And we're turning away food, right,
Yeah,
Brother Jay?
it's just amazing. We're turning away, like I said, that pallet of meat, we have to turn away other food because we
That's
just didn't
it.
have the space, the room to put it in there. And it's, I was trying to figure out a way how to, can we just pull the freezers open a little bit further
Right.
to figure it out, or we just had to turn it down because we couldn't take it. So I just think about how many people we could feed with 1,600 pounds worth of meat that we couldn't
Yeah.
take all at one time. So I mean, yeah, we need a bigger building. We really do. We could serve so many more people. We can get in so many more foodstuffs, and so that's what we really need. That's what we're hoping with fundraising. Yes,
Can I ask another question?
sure.
I go to St. Pat's in East Chicago.
Yeah.
And I go to FCC on Wednesdays.
Okay.
He's learning.
But let me just say this here,
Yeah.
because every year our biggest fundraiser at St. Pat's is our fish fry.
Yeah.
Every Friday for about 4 or 5 Fridays.
Mhm.
Immediately after we are done with our fish fry, any remaining food, well, for I guess however long we've been doing our fish fry, we immediately take all of that to the Carmelite home in East Chicago.
Oh, fantastic.
If you have any food left at your banquet, what are you going to do with that?
We have a location to take it to. We
To-
definitely
okay.
would. We also have to be careful too about what we take, what people accept.
Right.
But
Mhm.
yeah, we have something situation like that where we do have food left over. We can
Yeah.
definitely do something like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yeah, I
Brother
want to
Jay?
be able to tell you exactly how to get these tickets.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
So, first, the way to get your tickets is online, and we can go to FCC, the number 4me.com/opcare, OPCARE. I'm gonna say that again. FCC4me.com/opcare. You go right there. You can go right there and purchase your tickets. You also can meet us at FCC in the lobby on Sundays and Wednesday nights. We're going to be there. You can actually buy tickets right there at the door for us. It's $30 for an individual person and $200 for a table of 8. So please come down. Please support us in our community and support your community. And we really appreciate you coming.
And we have a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. You don't want to be on the air? Oh, okay. So then we'll take the message. And we'll have the board operator get the message that you need or relay the message to us. Thank you for calling. Well, any last minute thing? One last thing that's going to impact somebody who's listening or watching.
Give from your heart. Give, because there's so many people that need the help, and every small thing that you do, well, it just takes a few drops from you to fill a large bucket. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody gives a little bit, we could do a great good. So please give. Please come out to the banquet and come and join us. It's at Family Christian Center, 340 West 45th Street in Munster, Indiana, 6:30 p.m. on a Friday night. And the phone number to call too, if you need to, 219-838-2295. That's Operation Care directly. And most of all, if you need the help, come see us.
Thank you so much, Brother Jay. Appreciate you coming in and continue to serve.
Oh, without doubt.
Such a great thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
And we're going to go for a commercial in just 1 minute here. This is Nuestra Comunidad NWI Indiana, WLTH AM 1370, the region's choice and the people's voice. That's fine. And of course, 92.7 FM.
Can I get the number for Operation?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
219-838-2295.
Thank you.
And give us a call.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. And we're going to go for a commercial so we can get our next ready to come up. And here's another person that's also serving and helping others. You got it? Is it playing? The English commercial? I don't hear it. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Call me. I am glad to answer your question. Help you explore your options.
So,
If you are turning 65, I may qualify for some. I am a licensed.
Careful not to pull it. 'Cause it unplugs.
right, right.
773-968-619.
Good morning.
That's my son.
See you again.
I just
Hi there.
brought him to.
Oh, that's fine. If he has a word to say, please.
I'm
Have a seat.
just gonna watch.
You're just gonna watch, or they're gonna watch you?
Yes, exactly. So he's a teenager. So I'm like, you might want to
Yeah,
say something.
right.
How is my phone? How are you?
Wonderful. Good to see you again, Dr. Chan.
Same here, same here. Statistics in case we have to go.
Can I make a suggestion? Quarter two, she can do the commercial on the radio again. 'Cause we need to get everybody's
Yes.
voice.
Same statistics we had in case we have to refer to them again.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Yes. All right. All right, welcome back. Bienvenidos otra vez aquí en nuestra comunidad noreste de Indiana. 1370 AM y 92.7 FM y 1370 WLTH.com. Y también estamos en Facebook y en YouTube. Bienvenidos otra vez. Y aquí tenemos a otro invitado, el doctor Chandra. He was here a week ago to give us some important information. He's a neonatologist. Is that, am I saying it right? Okay.
Neonatologist, yes.
Yes, now if we can move your mic close to you right here, I appreciate it. Okay. Well, once again, good morning and welcome to our program. If you want it on, it's fine. We put the volume up so everybody can all hear. For those of you that missed the show, not everyone heard. Who are you? Give us a little spiel on you.
Okay, my name is Dr. Chandra, and I'm a neonatal physician who takes care of small babies. And I'm in this area for last 15 years, worked at different wonderful hospital systems and different hospitals. And currently, I am a medical director of a neonatal intensive care unit at St. Mary's in Hobart. And that's a new unit we started around three and a half years ago. And we are taking care of all those babies locally and don't have to transfer many babies out. And we are helping out the community and the babies there. That's what currently.
But something, excuse me, something struck you, Dr. Chandra, to do something specific. What's the worst case you've seen from a birth of a baby in your unit?
I have seen a lot, many things, and obviously, the worst thing can be obviously the prematurity is one of the worst things, and we have lost babies to prematurity, and the prematurity especially have a lot of difficulty with breathing and all those kind of things, and sometimes they are so premature, even if the babies look well formed, but their organs have not reached to a maturity level where they can function independently. And even though we have equipments and technology these days to take care of such a small baby, but even then, technology has not reached where nature and technology meet. So definitely there are babies whom are so small that even with those technologies we can't help. And again, the worst case will be obviously when the baby passes away. And those are some of the worst cases we have seen, that despite all the efforts, babies do end up passing away.
Are some of these premature babies due to opiate, drugs, cocaine, meth?
See, the rate of prematurity unfortunately has not gone down despite the medical advances we have so much in the last few decades. And it is very difficult to actually pinpoint what the cause of prematurity might be. Can the chances of opioid and other drug addiction be part of at least what we are seeing at the rate of prematurity? Absolutely. And given the fact the rate of prematurities has been not, I won't say actually stable, it is more like not going down despite the efforts.
Mm.
So I'm sure it is because of the other things which we are doing in society that is probably causing that premature labors and things like that.
Yeah, I just briefly, I experienced that when my daughter was born as a premature baby at 7 months. I was full bed rest for 2 months, but the experience that I saw was not just in my baby, but in other parents where their babies were 1 or 2 pounds. Mine was 4.5. So she was a bigger baby compared
That's
to
right.
others. And some made it, some had to be rushed
That is
to
correct.
Chicago or to
Mhm.
Illinois. And, we became a family at that time because we would go in there daily, 2 or 3 times a
Yes.
day. We got to be a family and to support each other, whatever reasons were that created them to be born too early. I did get to see some of that
That's right.
grieving
That's right.
with families that was sad to
And
see.
and again, as you said, those family become so much together because sometimes they spend so many days in the NICU together.
Mhm,
Those babies are next to each other.
mhm.
And the baby's life when they are in the NICU is almost like a roller coaster.
Yes,
Some
yes,
days are great, some days are not so great.
right.
And with your own experience, you can definitely vouch for that.
Mhm.
And again, every ounce of weight on a baby counts.
Oh yeah, ounce.
Because
We're not talking pounds,
yes,
ounces.
ounce.
You're
Every
right.
ounce counts actually.
Yes.
And obviously, as you said, we have babies who are born at 1.5 pounds to babies 4 pounds. Obviously, baby who is born at 4 pounds will do very well, but the pounder baby has its own struggle,
Mhm,
and those
mhm.
struggle can last for months. And sometimes those babies end up staying in the NICU for 6 months, seven
Yeah,
months,
yeah.
and even after going home, their journey is not that easy. For especially for a couple of years to maybe 3 4 years, they struggle with breathing issues, sometimes oxygen, and obviously we always worry about their developmental issues and things like that.
Right, right.
So it is very difficult situation sometimes for the families who take care of those premature babies, especially after they are gone home. It is not
Yeah,
easy. But things have changed a lot, though. We are getting better and better and better response,
that's
and the
good.
prognosis is getting much better.
That's good. And I'm sure that you are become part of their family, Dr. Tandra, because you're there taking care of their
That is
baby.
very true. I have cried with the families. I have enjoyed with the family. And I always say the best part about a neonatal physician is when they come back at your reunion. Let's say we do a
Mm,
reunion at 1 year, 2 years, and when they are walking around and talking to you, this is the best feeling. And I
right.
can say that from my heart.
Yeah, no, and that's just saying we're doing what we're
Yes,
supposed to do,
yes.
and it's a gratifying feeling it to your
It
heart.
really is. It really
And I'm
is.
sure some may come back if it has happened where they say, "Hey, Dr. Chandra, guess what? I'm taking medical,
Yes, yes,
and I'm in the
yes,
medical field thanks to you."
yes, yes.
That's always great. But what brings you to doing something different? You see them at birth, you see what can happen, but you see what else is happening. You have some information here. Share it with
That
us.
is right. So I'm here again to promote the event we are going to do on May 17th. And this event is about prevention, awareness about child suicide and opioid overdose. And these two things are actually killing our youths and our communities. And as I was alluding to last time, 130 people commit suicide every day in the United
Mm,
States.
it's too
And
many.
almost 130 people die of overdose every day in the United States.
Wow.
These are staggering, staggering statistics. And you're asking me why I ventured into it, because obviously working with babies, and a lot of babies actually suffering from withdrawal because of the mothers were using substances or even were on programs which were necessary evil, that they were put on these opioids to help out with their addiction and things like that. And the child suicide, again, my wife is a pediatrician, and for looks like last 5 or 6 years the child suicide depression has become forefront.
Right.
When I did my residency, we were not dealing with these kind of problem, mental health and things like, more we were dealing with cough, cold, ear infections, those kind of things. But nowadays, pediatric practice is becoming more and more mental health issues, psychological issues, and it is very heartbreaking. And that is the reason that we want to bring this to forefront. And the other reason I thought, even though many times we assume that we know so many things. Even when I was going through these statistics, I said, no, I didn't know that this is such a big problem, not a small problem. Almost 20% of our kids in Indiana and all over United States, they seriously consider suicide as an option.
Wow.
Can you believe that? And I didn't know that. And when I have, let's say, some problem, I don't know where to turn to, me even being a physician. So how community can know where to turn to when this comes to? So it is my attempt through this event is trying to marry those two things, because we know we have a lot of resources in the community. State does a lot, federal government does a lot, local good-hearted people do a lot, and we have a lot of organizations. But many times we do not know where those resources lie. I'm really, really hoping that we will have that community being there and these organizations being there together, and they can kind of have a little marriage of these resources. We can exchange ideas, we can exchange resources there. And that's why I already have almost 20-25 booths will be there. Not
Wow.
all of them are related to mental health and things like that. Some of them are local businesses and things like that. But at the same time, we'll have a lot of these people sharing their own experiences,
Sure.
sharing their resources. So I think that will actually make a lot of difference, because once we know the resources, where to turn to and how to identify the problems, we might be a little bit smarter, a little bit smarter.
Right. And on that note, we got to go for a commercial break. So we'll be right back after these.
$53 down. Driving in the state of Indiana.
Yeah,
You want
I
to say something, young man?
I
I just want to
Maybe
know.
he-
I'm going to
he-
put
he-
him on the spot.
No, he should, because
That's why he gets for sitting here.
he's a third year in college at IU Bloomington.
Ah,
My
okay.
both kids have gone to IU.
Wonderful.
He's applying for medical school, so he needs to know that's what is going through and everything. So maybe you can ask him
I'll bring you back.
why teenagers are doing what they are doing.
Yeah, I
Why
want to hear
he
from a
feel-
millennial.
why you feel the teenagers are stressed. They are.
What do you see? What you've experienced? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you really have to come. Come here.
You want to? There you go. Just share right
Just
there.
speak
It's
up.
good. Just
How old are you?
get closer to.
I'm 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a millennial. He's a young kid. Very young kid. We have like
And his
10
name
minutes
is
left.
Sarthak Agar.
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
for
Well, you'll just tell us who you are and where you're going
That's
to
right,
school and what you're
exactly.
studying, and we'll go from there. That way I won't mispronounce your name.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
We got like
that is
10
the
minutes
question
left.
coming. The teenager take.
You want to play
on-
our commercial? Wait, you
on
already
men-
did, so you're going to read it, right?
No. And this one, you need to play.
He already played twice. Remember, because of the other commercials, she said we would limit it. You read
Right.
this twice plus 2 on the radio,
Yeah.
that's 4.
So it was on his radio twice a week?
Yep.
Okay.
English and Spanish.
So you guys are gonna read it with me,
Yeah.
or you're gonna play it?
Okay.
No, you want to read it or you want to play it?
If it was played twice already and rated it.
Do you want to read it or you want him to play it?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, he'll read it.
So what's training we have after this?
About
It's
10
being
more
a
seconds.
safe.
For the mentors, yeah, survivor.
Safe where is that?
In Hammond. Are you going?
No, I'm not going because
Oh.
I have to obviously take care of this. And I have another meeting with
Yeah.
the other physician.
So we got
trying to-
10 minutes left.
No, that's okay. No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, because I got to run there too.
I know. And Dr. Gopal will be there.
Yeah, she's the one giving
Yeah,
the
she,
training.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she is
All right.
busy today.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us. This is Nuestra Comunidad NWI Indiana. It's 45 minutes after the hour, and it is a happy Saturday. May the 4th be with you. How about, is the 4th with you, Juan? Well, we have a special guest here, Dr. Chandra, returning guest, but he also brought an offspring, his son. His son is here, and I want to hear from a millennial. We're hearing it from the doctor, but we're going to hear something from an upcoming doctor. Well, good morning, young man. Thank you for joining your dad here this morning. Tell us your name and what are you studying, your age?
Good morning. My name is Sarthak Agarwal. I'm studying biology at IU Bloomington right now, and I'm studying to become a physician, actually. But yeah, just like my dad said before, suicide and drug abuse, opioids, it's a big problem, and it's something that it's very easy to talk about and like realize that it's there, but now that I'm becoming older, some of my friends and my classmates, you know, they've been passing away from drug abuse and suicide. Just 2 weeks ago, I think there was a suicide from one of my classmates from high school.
Wow.
A couple months ago, there was, I think, another one. So it's hard to face that we're coming to that age where these problems are very real, and they're not just things that, you know, people are telling you about. They're things that, you know, you're finding out from your friends, and you're finding out from your family members. It's very hard, and I think part of that is in college. It's some people find, you know, their group and their passion and what they want to do, and I've been lucky. I've found you know, a lot of good friends. But for some people, it can be very lonely. It can be very hard to deal with the things that you have to deal with every single day. And so, you know, maybe they just want to get out of that pain, or they want to, you know, do drugs to, you know, feel better, whatever makes them feel better in the moment. And, you know, they need to know that there's a lot of other resources that they can turn to, and that there's a lot of other things that they can do. But unfortunately, some of these people they've been feeling these emotions for so long, and they don't know how to reach out, how to get out of that box. And for that reason, they've had to, you know, do things just like that. It's heartbreaking.
It's more like becoming numb
Yeah.
because they felt it for so long. Have you personally experienced it with someone that you know that actually got depressed, or for whatever reason that they went to wanting to commit suicide or doing drugs?
Fortunately, I don't think any of my close friends or anything like that have. But you know, in high school, middle school, you become very close with these, you know, individuals, and you might not know them as your close friends, and you might not hang out with them. But then when you hear about them years down the line, you're gonna remember, oh, you know, he sat at my lunch table. He was someone, you know, he was a really quiet, nice kid. I never would have thought that he would have done this. And then when you see what happens to those people, it still feels just as personal sometimes. And it's it just coming to this age and having those realizations that people really are feeling this, and it's here and it's now. It's something that hopefully we'll have better tools to kind of deal with. I want to be a physician, and so I know it's going to be a problem that's even 5-10 years down the line. It's still going to be something we'll be wrestling
What
with.
made you want to go into medical field? From your dad, you got a great example right here, role model, if you will. What made you want to go there?
Well, I mean, definitely my parents are both really good role models. They never pushed me to do medicine or anything like that.
Thank you for saying that. Because every Indian thinks that we Indians
that you're instilling that.
force
Like,
them to
you got to
become
do it.
engineers or doctors and nothing else.
Right. No
Thank
less.
you for saying that.
Yeah. So it's coming directly from you, young man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was always interested in biology and stuff like that. I had done some volunteering, some shadowing, and obviously with my parents, I've seen the impact that you can make as a physician. And I actually had an experience. I was in Peru, and I had to take care of this girl who had heat exhaustion. We were, you know, like 3,000 meters down in Coca Canyon, so there was no physicians or anything.
Yeah.
And so it was just me trickling water into her mouth, and her eyes are rolling, you know, into her head, and she couldn't move or anything. It's experiences like that where you realize that with the knowledge that a physician has, and that breadth of knowledge, that those skills, you can really connect a person's personal narrative with that quality of care that they need. And it's in, you know, in those underserved areas, those people that you don't know when or where you're going to need those skills, you know, having the ability to become a person and a leader and someone who can change someone's life in that situation, you know, that's what a physician has. Those are the skills that you get as a physician.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? As adults, depending upon their situation and everything, at the time, you know, they also have, you know, suffer from depression and everything else and mental illness. As a 21-year-old, and you talked about, you know, some friends that you've lost at a very early age. What pressures right now can you talk about a little bit coming from youth in your age category? You know what I'm saying? One more question. Is your mother also in the health field or anything like that?
Yeah, both my parents are physicians. So my mom's a pediatrician. But your question was like, what kind of pressures do we have?
What kind of pressures do millennials maybe are facing right now that you can talk about? Or that you know of, maybe?
Well, I mean, one thing, especially for people who want to, you know, get out of college and make a difference, it's getting more and more competitive. And what flu maybe 10 years ago is now average. And so these people, we have this pressure that now have to go above and beyond what anyone else has before. I mean, we always joke that, I mean, these kids who are actually getting into like medical school or going to a good like dental school or, whatever you want to do, you have to like cure cancer or do something like really, really cool, because that's what they want to see now. If you have a 4.0 and you're doing really good, you're in 500 clubs, you're doing what everyone else has done already. And so that puts you a baseline at average, and then they're going to ask, well, what makes you actually stand out? And you're like, well, I thought, I was standing out, but it's not enough anymore. And so kids have this pressure on our heads now that we have to be good at everything in order to be something. And, at that point, when a kid gets a C, or a kid fails a class or something, sometimes it just feels like that's it. I'm never going to be able to, I'm never going to be able to do anything. And when you don't have that support network, you don't have that group of friends that you can go to, and they'll tell you, it's all right. They'll ground you. If you don't have that grounding, there's just those moments of spontaneity, those moments of weakness that just, it consumes kids sometimes.
Let me just say this real quickly.
It does.
Everyone on this earth has strengths and weaknesses.
Yep.
If nothing else, we build on our strengths and then do what we can with our weaknesses, or just put it away if it doesn't mean anything, because we're not perfect.
Yep.
We all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses.
But we have to work on those weaknesses with support.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you got to
With
have
people in the
family.
know, with people in
You
the
got to
know how
have
to fill those
family. You got to
weaknesses.
have friends. You
Yeah.
got to have a support system.
Mm-hmm.
And some kids, like you said, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't reach out until
That's
it's
the
too
problem.
late.
Yeah.
That is very true. Yes. And sometimes I feel the education system also need to take care of these kind of situations which are out there. Don't make it too pressurized. And we moved from India. Obviously, he was born here, and these kids were very small when we moved out. For first 6th, 7th grade, there was nothing. That like not means nothing. Like the pressure of studies was less.
Right.
But at 9th grade, it skyrocketed like anything. As he said, if they needed to do something, get into a good college or something, they have to stand out. And that standing out was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is doing so
Right.
much. So the competition is becoming so fierce to do
Right.
anything if you want to become something.
Right.
One last thing, let me just say, just by speaking to your son right now, very intelligent young man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I know that you are very proud of your son, right?
I am absolutely.
Yes. I'm proud of him, and I just got to meet him. I'm always commending and giving kudos to our millennials that are doing something, and not just something that is not good for themselves, but something that's going to be good for others.
Yes. And involving them in
appreciate
this
that.
kind of discussion is, I think, is very important.
It is.
Even though they are maturing, but they are maturing with the awareness the community needs them.
Yes.
And if they are kind of involved at that young age, I think they can make a lot of difference.
I believe so, Dr. Chandra, which that brings us to the event that you're having. If you want to know more about what's happening with the opioid crisis, with the suicide, with the youth and suicide in Indiana, you need to come to this event, right?
That is correct. And again, as we said, this event is on May 17 between 4 to 8 p.m. And you yourself will be there too.
Yes.
And we have a fantastic group of panels. I keep saying that we are still fine tuning the program because it takes a lot to understand what every expert brings to the table.
Right.
And those experts otherwise are actually not even available to common people. They are not even available to me.
Right.
So it is a great opportunity for community to come out and talk to them directly and ask them.
Who are part of the panel, Dr. Chandra?
So we will have a coroner. We will have, and I don't have my list right now, but again,
Whatever you can bring up.
yes, we will have a coroner there. We'll have Dr. Gopal there, another psychologist who will be there. Lake County Sheriff Mr. Oscar Martinez will be there. Then we'll have Mark Price, who is the board member for Safe Coalition.
Yes.
We are hoping to get Judge Stefaniak there. We will have IU professor who is expert on opioid prevention. His name is Dr. Williams Watkins. He is a professor at Indiana University. We'll have Dr. Sean Condamori. He's a pain physician. We'll have Lake Station Police Chief on the panel. And we may have another emotional speaker and recovering addict who has written books and things like that on this topic, and he has learned how to kind of intervene and self-taught himself those kind of things.
That's good. So that's going to be a powerful panel.
It
You
is a
do not want to
powerful-
miss, and this is for free.
It is absolutely free. Everybody
Absolutely
who comes,
free.
yes, everybody who comes there gets free food, free music, again, and free Narcan training. That's the other thing I can't
Free
get my
Narcan training.
that I find that is very important, because the
Yes.
Narcan is the drug which can reverse this opioid overdose in seconds and actually
Wow.
save a life. And she's going to give out samples, free samples to everybody who attends.
Wow.
We will even have the drug who manufactures Narcan as a booth. They will be giving out those resources. And this drug goes into the nose. So it's not that somebody has to fiddle with filling a syringe and popping that into the arm or something. No, it just goes into
You just
the
breathe it
nose.
in.
And with because we know that the death occurs because of overdose. If it can goes up there and get the drug out of the receptors, you're fine. As
Wow.
long as we are breathing, we don't die from it. You know?
Right. And where's this event? Time and date? Because we do have to get going. Our time is almost up.
So it will be at Indian American Cultural Center in Maryville, 8605 Maryville Road in Maryville, Indiana. And it is next to Myers on Route 30. Okay, and come and join for the vigil, because at the end around 8 o'clock, we are going to remember all we lost, but again, not forgotten. We will have a candlelight vigil, and everybody is encouraged to participate in it so that we do not forget what we lost to this menace.
Well, thank you so much for both of you for coming on today and for continuing to make a difference. And we must continue to make a difference in the region and not talk about it, but be about it. And so we will always need some type of help, support, assistance, hand out, not a hand down to keep a person down, but to lift them up. We thank all of our guests that have been coming on our program. Juanito, 30 seconds left for you.
Yeah, so the
minutes.
next free seminar on behalf of Arisadli Corona in regards to whether you are turning 65 or on new to Medicare, the next free seminar is on June the 5th at 1 o'clock at the Holiday Inn Express at 6295 Melton Road in Portage. The numbers to get in contact with her are 219-801-1276 or 773-968-6619. And party safely. This is Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Right. Be safe. But one last thing, I want to congratulate and thank Dr. Kalyani Gopal. She's the president-elect of Illinois Psychological Association and Safe Coalition for Human Rights. Today is the day launching the Survivor Mentor Certification training this morning to 12 trailblazing women and men that she created this program to help survivors gain the skill sets to work with therapists and those with similar histories. There were victims of severe domestic violence, sexual assault, or human trafficking. Our trainees have histories of being violently beaten, bruised, threatened with death, sold by their own mothers in exchange for room and board or drugs at tender ages, grew up witnessing violence, some raped multiple times, yet they survived. Through intensive therapy, self-empowerment, and the support of their communities, these brave survivors are today on the threshold of becoming mentors to those still deep in victimization. They will help victims in ways no therapist can. She is incredibly proud of each and every one of us. Please join us and congratulate their success in transitioning from once traumatized victims to empowered survivor mentors. Throughout their journey, Dr. Sandra and Dr. Gopal were their doctors working with each and every one of them as they get triggered and need help. So we thank everyone that is part of this Safe Coalition for Human Rights. And congratulations to these men and women. On that note, we got to go. Se nos acabó el tiempo, Juanito. We'll be back Friday, right?
Yes.
At 5 o'clock. So on that note, please be safe out there. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you.
De Mayo. Oye, yo.
What did
And
you
happy
say?
Cinco de Mayo.
What did you say?
Mayo. We are out. We are done.
Yeah,
Hasta la
thank you
vista.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Doctor.
welcome.
Or
Thank you so
doctors.
much.